Alright, let's get the microphone check. Webcam check. Give a little stir to our beverage tonight, which is hot chocolate. It's been chilly of late, so, you know, I've been switching it up a bit. How are you, Fjordface? How's your day going? How you been, man? Is that the one, or is this the one? We should be using this scene here. Wheel of Time. So I have not read it, but I did watch the, is it on Amazon, or is it on HBO? It's on one of those. Watched the first season. And, yeah. I've heard about it before. One of my good buddies, in fact, that I know from like Comic-Con and Starfest and stuff, he has read, I think, all of the books. And so he mentioned it to me a while ago. But yeah. Oh, wow. Nice. Congratulations on getting that handled, getting that taken care of. Way to go. Internet high five right there. Bam. Good job, man. It's like a fanfic of this of the series. Okay. Yeah, he said there was a lot of stuff that was like either missing or they had changed, you know, to accommodate for the TV show, if you will. Which is understandable. I mean, not many written stories, whether they're novels or movies or whatever, they really don't translate that well. I mean, I've rarely seen it, like hardly ever, come across like you would see in the book, right? For example, Jurassic Park, when that first came out, I remember, you know, reading through those books, and then when Jurassic Park 2 came out, they had that opening scene on the beach, and I was like, wait, that's how the book starts, book 1 of Jurassic Park. But they did it in book 2, or in the sequel of the movie, Jurassic Park 2. So things like that, yeah, and then characters get rewritten. You know, like The Expanse was one of the closest that I've ever seen that as a recreation of the books. But even there, I mean, there were changes that ended up being made in terms of, you know, the characters, the order of things happening were switched around a bit. Like they brought some of book 2 forward, and they brought some of book 1 and book 2 further out. Yeah, Jurassic Park, like, that's why I brought it up first, because it is such a good recreation of, you know, in terms of the movie to the novels. But in terms of like a series, The Expanse is the one that comes to mind for me there. You know, but then they had one of their actors in The Expanse in, what was it, season 5? He had some stuff go down in real life, and so they had to let him go, and that's why his character stopped being in the show. Yeah, Crichton is incredible author, that's for sure. Michael Crichton. So, and then the music, of course, was that John Williams? I'm pretty sure it was John Williams that did Jurassic Park music. He also did Star Wars. He's done so much. I mean, yeah, the music and the soundtracks of so many of these epic shows, like, yeah, you really got to hand it to them. Like, they make a big difference in terms of how something feels, and thus, you know, the success that I think that you're going to have with that particular movie or show. I need to check the trade channel. Yeah, nothing's happening there. Oh, you know what we need to look at? Did that... Okay, so we got 150 meters cubed of matte gray brick. that we made overnight while I was sleeping. The intention there being that it would fill in for some of the matte gray concrete that I need. It is by far not nearly enough, though. I mean, it's half of what I have in matte gray concrete, and it's not nearly what I need. I didn't get your brick! No, I can... So I want to compare... I want to see how things look. So if we take the matte gray concrete, and then we drop in matte gray brick. That's the difference between the two. The question is, ultimately, is there any distinction? I don't know, there is a different feel about the concrete. I mean, they're really close in terms of the color and whatnot, right? And yeah, it is significantly more affordable. And I can make it in my nanocrafter, right? As opposed to needing to buy it from a market or have somebody manufacture it for me. Here's the thing. If I'm going to do brick, I would want the entire structure to be the one single material. So in the case of this Embassy Town Spire, we're talking 7, maybe. So I need 3,800 for the top, and that is not finished. This so far is probably another 3,000, and it's not finished. So I'll just say 4,000, and maybe it'll be finished. Maybe. So we're looking minimum 7,000 or 8,000 to do this. Because then I would be replacing all of that matte gray concrete with the brick, so that it would be all the same material. Waxed brick? Go into here. Waxed gray brick. Is it actually shiny like that? That glossy? That concerns me. Because the matte gray concrete... No, I didn't want to... click the wrong thing. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why would you do that? It really doesn't have a sheen, does it? Yeah, I put in waxed. So looking at that there, there's not much of a sheen on it. Waxed gray brick. Yeah, see how shiny that is right there? That concerns me. For the waxed gray brick. Now, I thought I did the math on this. I had 7,500 liters. Divided by 50 liters per 10 cubed. It'd be 150. Oh, I could have made 150 of these. Not 150 cubic meters. Okay, so now, what did I end up making from my 7,400 liters? 7,500. So I'd be able to make 600 meters cubed of waxed gray brick. Less shiny than you think. Okay, so I mean, I can afford to make one. And then that way we can deploy it and see. So the other thing that I want to look at... Undo that. The other thing that I want to look at is... in the dark. In the shadows. How was it lit? There's more distinction there. I mean, yeah, that's why I would want to have the entire structure to be the one material, because you can see distinctly where the matte gray brick is versus the matte gray concrete. They're close, but if I were to do it on a single structure, I would want 100% all the same material. Now, let's go see what happens with... over here to the lighted area. Now that I have... waxed gray brick, let's put this in here. It looks pretty flat. For the waxed gray brick. Okay, waxed gray is on the left, and then matte gray is on the right. The sun's coming up soon, so we'll be able to see it in daytime, but I think the matte gray brick has a little bit more like texture to it, like, which is kind of, I guess, how I feel about the concrete, because you can see that it's distinct there between the concrete and the brick. No matter the brick, whether it's matte gray or wax gray, the concrete is still distinct from all of those. But waxed does not seem that far off from the matte. And I've already got 160 of the matte. So I don't want to make any more of the waxed, because they look virtually identical to me. I'll leave that there. So let's do this. I want to see... what happens if I swap this out? I don't even have enough. 153 cubic meters of matte gray brick. Can't even do the one leg. It probably could, but it just doesn't want to because of limitations to rendering. Yeah, it says it doesn't have enough material, but it definitely does. Oh, I want to select, I want to material change. Maybe it is enough to do one leg. As long as I don't try and stretch it too far. Oops. So that's the matte gray brick. Oh, it certainly makes the shadows rougher. That could be the deciding factor. Because look how much rougher the wrinkles are here with the matte gray brick. I definitely have to do a lot more voxel work to smooth that and clean it. Because the matte gray concrete doesn't look as rough. I still need to smooth it and clean up those voxels, but the brick kind of exacerbates it. Huh. Interesting. Also, what does it look like when it's out of the build render? Yeah, it's still got weird anomalies here and there. Things to fix and clean up. Yeah, I don't know. I still feel more comfortable with the concrete. The way that it feels. I know it costs more, but and there's something about this that's just different. I don't know what it is about this new spire that fits differently with all of the parts. Is it? I don't know if it's because I made it thicker. Like, the legs are wider than the original. If you look at this here, I think Like, move these in. Like, remove... If we subtracted an entire meter through the middle and brought those in, I think that's the difference between this version and the original that I made back in beta. God, I wish I had made a frickin' blueprint. Brad, what were you thinking? Absolutely bananas. That I did not make a blueprint of this stupid spire. Ah! Everything else I had blueprints for, but not this silly thing. Why? Did I not set my... I guess I did not. Runway. These are new. This here. Just made that one. So that's one spire. 2,700 cubic meters. There's 2 cores for this. There's two spires, technically. So that puts us at 5,400 cubic meters. Plus another 3,800 for the top. Puts us at 8,800. So basically 9,000 cubic meters. Yeah, 3,765. It might as well be 3,800. Home on the hill with the layer. $344 cubic meters of matte gray concrete. And a variety of other materials. I was experimenting a lot back then. That was the first house I ever made. Embassy Town Central, 1347. $6,400 glass panels. Okay, so that is what I am thinking it is. Runway Central, Embassy Town Temp. That's where the things are. The spaceport I've already built. That was 3,300 cubic meters of matte gray concrete. Storage unit, that's on an extra small core. White pattern concrete. Nice black concrete. Now, lots of little bits and pieces. Lots of bits and bobs. Large container, medium container, small container, some extra smalls on an extra small core. That's where I used to store everything. Underground, hidden away. There's the spaceport. Schematic item? No. You can't sort databases, data files by mass. So Embassy Town Central, I made a lot of copies of that. What is this small voxel toolkit? Something that has a variety of different materials. All of which are plastic that I don't have. Static BIA NRD combo voxel kit. Another one made out of plastic. Areola pedal. Don't know what that is. That was something that somebody gave me. Also a very strange name. So multiple Embassy Town Centrals. The spaceport, I've got a couple copies of that. Embassy Town Temp, which is all of the curves. Relatively small. We already printed that once to get the curves to make the spire. Home on the Hill with various versions there. Runway Central, a couple versions there. I'm going to go with, this is the most recent one because it actually has the dispensers on it. When I was selling, or was going to sell, blueprints. Okay, storage. Storage 2, two versions of that. Yeah, that's it for my static core blueprints. No spire. Way to go, Brad. This one I won on somebody's stream. This one was gifted to me just the other day. Curved windows. Also 6400 glass panel smalls. 73, no wait, no 53 glass panel smalls. Where did this come from? I didn't make this, did I? Static core units small. Matte black concrete, matte gray concrete. Now I'm curious. Can I put a core blueprint in here? No. I hate spending money to make these blueprints and then never use them. It appears to be empty. Oh. Oh, that's what that is! Ha! I know what that is now. Okay. Duh. Yeah. This is definitely something I made. In fact, just sitting right up there next to my outpost. Right there. Okay, so now I know what that is. Silly Brad. Curved windows, yeah. I know exactly what that is. I keep forgetting that's down on the ground. Okay, let's look at it in the sunlight. Oh, I see, yeah. So matte gray brick on the right, waxed gray brick on the left, It is definitely shinier at this angle with the sun. Whereas the matte gray concrete is like the waxed gray brick. Just a slightly different pattern. The matte is definitely a flat color, though. Interesting. Huh. But this is very flat and smooth in terms of the waxed. I wonder what that... Okay, so let's try the waxed over here on that same leg that I was looking at because of the shadow issue that I saw. Yeah, this one. Waxed gray. Because with the matte brick, it looked very... Maybe not enough material. I've got 10 cubic meters there. There's a slight difference, but it's not nearly as terrible as the matte gray brick. When it comes to the shadowing. But also the voxels are getting changed because of the material change, which is annoying in and of itself. That the vertices of voxels move when you change the material. Huh. Okay. The sunrise there is rather pinkish. You can see it on the shading and the coloring here. Well, I wonder. Here's something that's curious. From this angle, you can see a pattern in the concrete that repeats. And I guess you can see the pattern there as well on the dome. Can you see a pattern on there? It might not be a flat enough shape to see the concrete pattern here. No. There's enough variation to give it... Okay. Yeah, you can't see the pattern here, but on the flats and on the dome, that's kind of wild. Okay, so if that's happening... Curious what that looks like on a large scale. That stupid voxel change, vertice change, because you're changing your material. It made the circle all wrinkly there. Not enough material. Oh, I've only got 1 meter left. I literally had enough material. Bananas. Okay, so let's go look at this from a distance. The difference with lighting. Okay, so with the waxed, which is on the left, it looks a lot like the concrete. You just don't get the pattern. The matte is very clearly matte because it's not shiny at all like the concrete or the waxed brick. You're making your case, Fjord, for the waxed brick. Well, I mean, you're not making your case. I'm making your case, I suppose. Starting to see it. Yeah. I wonder. All right. A little more hot water there. Whatever's left. I'm seeing the case for the waxes. Definitely not the matte, which I did make quite a bit of that, so I guess I'll have to find a use case for it somewhere else. But the wax version, and then the fact that it doesn't have the pattern like the concrete, how many undos do... Yeah, see that pattern in the concrete? Whereas the waxed brick is nice and smooth and clean. Pretty much. It's still got some of the sheen that the concrete has, but I like how flat that is. But has some sheen. It's not flat as in like matte finish, but it's flat as in you can't see a discernible pattern like you do with concrete. So then, it still stands. I would need 8,000 or 9,000 cubic meters of that material. That's the thing. But at least now I could produce it myself. No special talents or machinery or equipment required. How long would it take to make all of that again? Okay, so waxed gray brick. 9 minutes and 50 seconds. And I'll get 590 meters cubed, which is less than a tenth of what I need. Brick product. How do I have 33 kiloliters of oxygen? That's going to be our limiting factor here. So it's probably going to be like 600. 600. I could use all of, well, most of my aluminum and silicon and nearly all of my oxygen, which is fine. Produce 45 kiloliters of brick product. Of that, alright, calculator. Let's just take that. 45 divided, we're going to round this number to 6,000. 45 divided by 6 is 7.5. So let's just say that would be 600 cubic meters. 7.5 times 600 cubic meters. That's 4,500. That's roughly half of what I would need. Yeah. Roughly half of what I would need. So I can make that myself in like 10 minutes. Heck, y'all. I'm tempted to do it. Well, this, no. It wouldn't be 10 minutes because that's 600 there for 10 minutes. Doing 10 times that amount, so it'd probably be like, what, an hour and a half? Still. Well, that's interesting. 8 kilograms per meter cubed. What is concrete? I never really looked at that before. "12 kilograms per meter cubed. Interesting. Well, the hit points are higher too. 540 per cubic meter versus 360. So if our building ever got into a battle, the brick would crumble and fall before the concrete would. Interesting. Man, so many thoughts right now. Do I do it? Do I not? There was another thing I was wondering about. Harvest tool, mine tool, area smooth, for voxels, deploy element tool. I really don't see anything. Flatten tool. To perfectly flatten planet terrain at a defined height. Mine tool. Valuable ore from the ground. There are really no terraforming tools, are there? The planet smooth tool is used to smoothen hard edges or lightly flatten an area on a planet. Okay, so maybe this one. That could solve that problem there on the ground. I wonder what that would look like, though. Saper! Welcome back! Well, you're welcome. What I taught you to do. Cool. Remind me again what I taught you. Oh, with the smooth tool, yeah. I was actually just wondering out loud about the smooth tool, if we could do that with the ground, because... well, I'm happy I inspired you. That's cool. And yeah, I like what I saw earlier, like the work that you did. I mean, yeah, I meant it, dude. Looks great. I like it. And I'm totally looking forward to seeing you post some more stuff, because, you know, when that creative bug in people comes out, like, that's the fun stuff. Oh, you posted some more? Let me take a look. Aha! Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, there you go. And then you got the space break that's hidden in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm getting goosebumps. That looks nice, dude. And I like the orange and white color scheme you've got going on, too. I was going to mention that. The way you've got... Because it's a nice contrasty, you know, color difference there. Yeah, man. That's some good work right there. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm glad that I could contribute. Like, I could be on here doing my stuff. You know, you get to see me figure it out as well. And that way you get to learn the thought process, so that when you're doing it, like, you can remember back, be like, oh yeah, what if I do this thing? Or it also, hopefully, like, you see me screw up, it gives you the freedom to, like, experiment and try things. And even if you mess up, you can still go back, because you know the fundamentals, hopefully because I was able to pass that information along, right? So, I'm very happy for you. Yes! Yeah, seriously, dude, goosebumps. Like, just looking at that ship. You're gonna make more good stuff. I know it. Just looking at that, like, the fact that you can now understand the smooth tool and you have a sense of the boundaries of how it works, right? How it doesn't work and how it does work. And right there, seeing your first foray into that and figuring it out, like, yeah, you're gonna make some cool stuff in the future. I'm really excited for you. That's freaking cool, dude. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Speaking of smooth tool, but on the ground, because if I can manipulate the ground here so that it's relatively flat instead of being half buried into the ground like this is over here, I would much prefer that. But I want to go somewhere and experiment where nobody's going to see it. So when I screw up the ground, it doesn't look absolutely terrible next to my base. But I don't know how exactly to do that. Seriously? There's a stump with mushrooms on my property? Soil. This is raw material. Okay, let's keep going. I'm seeing things on my property that I didn't know existed. These rocks. What? It's like... Dude. Is there ruins on my property? What is this? What is this? No frickin' way, dude. There's like... Alright, I'm getting screenshots here. I wonder if anybody's ever seen this before. Yeah, even if I try and identify it, it still shows up as soil. It's pointed at the ground, like it's gonna show up as soil. If I raise it up here, like it doesn't identify as anything. What the heck? Like this is where a support beam, like would have gone through, like a metal support beam or something, right? For the structure. That's bananas. What's on the... That's a very square rock. I mean, that could very well also be part of the ruins. Also, I'm further than I've ever been on my property, so... Look at those rocks up there! So that's why you can see Skittles again. I mined all the Skittles up there, if I recall. What is this mess? Oh, these are bushes. This is vegetation. I thought it was some sort of weird green rocks or something. This is wild. I'm finding wild stuff on my property. But yeah, the whole ruins section right here. What the heck even, bro? That's wild. Okay. Anyhow, back to my original mission. So yeah, finding this is the second stump like this with the little mushrooms. Are those, I don't know if those are like chanterelles or whatever. I don't remember the exact name of the mushrooms that grow out of stumps like that, or out of trees in general. Alright, this looks like a good place to experiment. It's way down on the border edge. There's a couple of lumpy things. I can mess with the ground. Okay, so there's the smooth voxel tool. The Planet Smooth tool is used to smoothen hard edges or lightly flatten an area on a planet. Okay, let's try that. Hold up. There's the mining tool. Mine valuable ores. This one is the harvest tool. That's the surface materials. Let's just swap those out real quick. I think this is the one... I'm out of range of my, Oh, you gotta hold it down for a second before it grabs it. Okay, do I have that somewhere? No. Keep non-precious ore. There we go. I knew there was a button to grab that stuff. Okay, so that's flattening that out that way. Let me look at this little hump right here. Yeah, look, it's flattening that. Can I change the size of this? I can. Not very much, mind you. Yeah, it's a minimal adjustment, but... Okay, so on this little hill thing here... So what if I... Can I make this? I can make this larger, okay. Okay, and then if we smooth this... alt. Can I put soil, quick access, skills and terraforming? Yeah, so if I do alt, I should be able to put not enough material? To make it go down? Okay. I need to sit down. My timer went off and then I totally ignored it. So what if I want to put material... Okay, now it's blue. Oh, there's that. Okay, so then we can smooth... What about if we smooth from down here? Oh yeah, it really flattens that out like that. Okay. Oh, you can do smaller blocks. Okay, and then what if we smooth that? Yeah, there we go. So if I need to do some fine adjustment to the ground. So I can totally do this then, right? I can totally go and adjust the terrain underneath my spire. And kind of flatten and level it out around the spire, but not do it in a weird, jagged, crazy looking way. Yeah, it doesn't need to be precise. Like this level of smoothing is like it's within tolerance. Like I'm not worried about yeah. And as long as it looks all the same, like the soil looks all the same to some degree. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about, is like, is the ground gonna look the same as the ground around it when I start planting material on it? These weird voxels sticking out, that's weird. The plants and the rocks, though, I wonder if those will eventually go away, or what happens to that stuff? Because we have floating grass and floating rocks. Okay, well, that gives me a better sense of what we can do there. Just not so precise, yeah. So you're saying terraforming, are there... Is it under mining and inventory? Terraformer. Oh, look at that, operations range. All digging terraforming actions. Terraforming operations speed. Dig tool optimization, larger selectable digging sphere. I don't necessarily need that. Flatten tool optimization, larger selectable flattening radius, smooth tool operation, flattening efficiency, plus 20% flattening tool cylinder height. It might make my life a little easier if I actually had those at some level. Hydrate. I've been drinking hot chocolate all night. Of course, it's not going to be a couple of days until that happens, but I can work on Voxelmancy stuff meanwhile. Can I select multiple things? Like, if I hold down Shift? No. I can't move things up and down without dragging and... Why did that not? Only when I was a kid. Yeah. It's also good with some Bailey's Irish Cream in it. Which I don't have, unfortunately. Oh, I guess I have to move that one first. They do need to remain in order, so... But at least this will give me level 1 on everything. Might make my life a little bit easier when I get around to doing this. And it'll only take a few hours, hopefully while I'm asleep, so I can just hop online, start using it. Anything to make my life easier. Given that all the flight stuff is going to take 5 days to a week or more. Might as well get this stuff done. This one will actually go all the way. I can put that one up there. That one won't. This one I can put... Wait, when did I get 2 million talent points? I just noticed that. There's 500,000 points right there. Okay. Yesterday. What happened yesterday? Or day before? Operations range. Was there a reason why that happened? Okay, that's going to take 46 hours, so we're going to put that towards the end. Skill points to beta testers. Oh! I didn't see that announced anywhere. Was it on there? Was it on Twitter or Discord or... Alright, so we can actually just train that up. This one we'll just train. Every month till 6 months, it's a reward for wipe. Oh. Yeah, it was, Hey, Rook! Heck yeah, let's go! Subscription! Appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. Heck yeah. Happy New Year. How you doing tonight? I mean, I paid subscription pretty much the entire time in beta. I missed maybe the last 2 months, maybe 3 months tops. But, yeah. I hear ya, I'm doing too. So I am currently... I was doing some Voxelmancy stuff, but the building that I put down, it's kind of on a hill, right? And I got to thinking tonight, like, what if I flatten that out? because part of the building is hidden inside of the hill. You can't see it. And it kind of feels like I wasted material because I just copied and pasted it because it's symmetrical all the way around. And I feel like part of it is missing, and I wasted materials to hide it in there. Holy smokes, it's 46 hours. So I figured, what if I just throw some points at terraforming just to make my life easier so I can go up there. But otherwise, I want to get back to my piloting skills. So I can throw 770,000 points at that. Drops that from 5 days down to 43 hours. Okay, fabulous. But as you can see, as a pilot, like, I have a whole bunch of stuff that's over 90%, a whole bunch of stuff that's over 80%. And rocket scientist is at 0%. Rockets seem to be pretty much useless in this game. So we were just experimenting down here in the little corner of the my property, off where, you know, nobody will see it, hopefully, before... You know how they tell you, like, when you're trying out a new laundry detergent, they're like, test it on a corner of your shirt that nobody will ever see, right? In case it bleaches it or ruins it. Changes the color. Yeah, that's what I did. So I went all the way off to the corner of my property to do a little test on the ground. And, yeah, let's head up here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't know if you've been catching the stream lately, lurking or what have you. Yeah, so see, this is where it would have been straight. So this is, it's flat here, but you can see where it starts to get buried into the ground, into the hill. And then all the way back here, like, it's completely buried into the ground. So I thought, what if I could, like, squish that down, right? So that it's the same everywhere. And then I would raise this up, you know, so that the base of it is at least, you know, there's something consistent with the shape and the look of it. I do have one concern, though, because I kind of like this big rock right here. I hope I don't have to ruin the ground in order to... If it will delete this rock, or if it'll end up, excuse me, floating in the air or something. Because we did have a few plants that were down there that were kind of floating a foot or two off the ground. Not that having weird concrete structures floating in the sky already is weird, but those are going to go away once I get the build completed. Those are just forms that I use for copying and pasting all around. The bottom, I think, is fairly done. I have like 90% confidence. The top, I ran out of concrete, dude. I need a couple thousand more cubic meters of matte gray concrete. So we were going over that tonight. If Fjordface was making an argument for switching materials to something that I can make, since I have no industry, but I can make brick, and the waxed gray brick has a lot of similar properties in the way that it looks to the matte gray concrete, which I cannot make. I don't have the industry, I don't have the schematics, I don't have the tier 2, the calcium that's required. But bricks you can make with, what is it, aluminum and silicon and coal, or oxygen, excuse me, which I have plenty of. So, yeah, bricks are cheap. Also, speaking of, let's go here, pure. Because I have some unprocessed bauxite that I could go in and handle. Add to queue. Carbon. Oh, look at that. That's a lot of coal. So yeah, the case for me making brick is certainly there. And I'm seriously considering it at this point. Okay, so we'll get those piers converted over, because, I mean, if you look at what I have material-wise, since I started, like, I've got... Can I organize these differently? No, apparently not. I mean, I've got 30 plus kiloliters of each, 42 kiloliters of pure silicon, but of all the materials that I would need to make brick, certainly have enough. And, yeah, waxed gray brick. Brick product. So pure silicon, pure aluminum, pure oxygen. I have enough to make a significant amount. I would have enough to make about half of what I need. So 4,500, if I did the math right. 4,500 cubic meters of waxed gray brick. I guess I need to lean this way. Waxed gray brick. Which is about half of what I think I need to build the whole thing. So I could build the bottom half here. The top half goes on top of this, all the way up there. This is considered the bottom half. This spire right here is considered the bottom half. So I think I could build this with the 4,500 cubic meters of waxed gray brick. The thing is, I want all the materials to match, so there's consistency in the look and the feel. So I would want the entire structure top to bottom to be the same material, which means I would need to make between 8,000 and 9,000 cubic meters of waxed gray brick. That's my estimates at the moment. And this is on 2 medium cores, so this is 1 medium core right here. So top to bottom, you can see the grid lines for the build. 1 medium core. All of this would be covered up by the top half. It's so weird that these vertices stick out of the core. I can't place a voxel up here, but these vertices are bent out of shape. And they stick out of the core. So flipping weird. In any event, yeah. So I think what I'll do is tonight, if I can remember to do this, I'll set up the I'll set up the nanocrafter to start making the brick product and the brick. Hopefully I'll get the math right, and it'll do all that overnight, and then tomorrow it'll be ready for stream. But as for tonight, one of the things that I wanted to keep working on is recovering matte gray concrete, just in case. So what I did was I made this, I took one of these legs, and I kind of chopped it down a bit, and then I stuck it in, and I used it as a cutting form. Because, you know, you can use your voxels to cut things and shape them. So I've been cutting out unused voxels with that. You can see where the curve is, where I used the shape to negatively cut that out. And then you can see where I had originally... Whoa! Red alert! All hands, to your stations, to your stations. Hey, Drax. Welcome in, everybody. Woohoo! Zypher. Hey, thanks for the follow, Chill Coaster. Red alert, everybody. Happy New Year. How you doing, Drax? Haven't seen you in a hot minute. How's your stream? Monster! Hey, welcome back. Good to see you. So yeah, I've been cutting this out because I'm trying to recover, you know, matte gray concrete. So I would like to continue doing that tonight. I just need to make the forms, the shapes, so that I can cut with those voxels. But I know it looks kind of gross on the inside, but you're never going to see this. But it would be nice to have all that wasted concrete back. So for those of you who have not seen it yet, Station X, man and ready. Aye, ready, sir. So here's the base. This is 2 medium cores. They're offset 45 degrees. We started this a couple of days ago. This is the one thing from beta that I forgot to make a blueprint. Haha! There it is. I forgot to make a blueprint. This is the one thing. So I've had to remake it from scratch. And then of course I also ran out of concrete. I need more matte gray concrete. So the spaceport, that's on a blueprint. All my ships, they're all on blueprints. Like, that's all good to go. This piece right here, I effed it up. It is not on a blueprint, so I'm having to build it from scratch. Looking at some of my old screenshots. So yeah. Closing up the 3-day Obsidian ship show. Oh, nice. 260 million in prizes. Holy smokes. That's wild. So meanwhile, you can see some of my forms floating out here so that when I flip and invert and when I have more concrete again, I can finish the top, because it's supposed to be symmetrical. It's supposed to look the same top and bottom, right? I also need to get a bunch of luminescent white glass to light this up. But yeah, the 2 medium cores are in here, inside of this cylinder, and then let me show you this. I wonder if I can. Let's do this. I want to show you what it's supposed to look like. Hey, Killer Shark TV! Thanks for the follow. I'm gonna go up on top of my. This is not finished either. There's so much. I have so much unfinished. But this is the air traffic control tower on top of the spaceport. Where's the, yeah, let's land right there. Okay, so that's the base of the spire. It's medium core. Where is, I need this one, and then, no, this one. Embassy Town Central. Here is the top half. So let's move this over. Do I need to rotate it? No. That's about as straight as it's gonna get for now. Okay. Here's the top half. Again, another medium core. So it'll look something. Yeah, I'm off on my rotation somehow. Anyhow, you get the general idea. It's not straight like it's going to be. But, is that? Okay, that's the limit. The shadow's weird with the render. Anyhow, there's the top half. There's the bottom half. Yeah. So each of those circles, there's 4 around and then 1 on top. Those are actual domes. So, and this is also incomplete. I never finished this in beta. But each corner on the cube is also considered an apartment, right? So there's 8 apartments. And then I would probably put some more around, you know, inside of there and stuff. And then just overall, because there is so much space, so let's move it over here so you can kind of look at it at the level. So I've got plenty of space. I was going to put like a bar up here on this upper deck. Maybe have multiple floors inside of this, like rounded floors. And then just to give you a sense of like what I did manage to build. It's like the main central floor here. You can see kind of this flower shape. It's not like a flower, but it's like I pulled the rounds of the dome of the circle pad like out in order to, you know, give it, you know, a different shape. It's not perfectly round. I wanted these sections to poke out, so to speak, inside of the dome. So when you're standing in there and you're looking through all the glass, you get a really interesting kind of view of things. Right? And then the rings, that's what's holding the glass, the domes, so to speak. But yeah, and then the four corners are our apartments, multiple levels here. It gets a little tight on the bottom, not gonna lie. I might have to change some things and do some things. You know what I just realized? First of all, my timer's going off, so I should stand up. Ha! Here's something that I just realized. So the top half of the spire here, I actually copied from the base as well. So if you look at the corners, you see how this circle comes down and you see how they're rounded inside. Oh shoot. I just fell off of the doodad. I don't know if I can get back up here and get out of the... See how they're curved in here? That's the same interior as these. Yeah. I had copied that originally from the base spire to build the inner circle cutout up top here. So that does make me wonder. Like, if I could have built this first somehow, and then copied and pasted this down below to recreate the bottom half of the spire, that would have been a heck of a thing. Yeah. Okay, well, there's that. The things you see after the fact. And in case you're wondering about the domes that I've been talking about, it's a bit of madness on behalf of my brain. It took me, what, a year and a week? $6,378 glass panels for all 5 of those domes. Yep, Brad is a little bit cuckoo. So, in case you're wondering how long that took, yeah, a year and 1 week, almost to the day. And part of that was because I put 200 or 300 panels down and then I would give up because I would get frustrated placing the panels. And then I would stop playing DU for like 3 or 5 days. And then I would come back at the end of the week and put down another 300 or 400 panels and then take another break. Because it was just absolutely fracking tedious and boring. I'm not gonna lie. I am so glad I got that as a blueprint versus this. Like, it's okay that this is not on a blueprint. But that, not on a blueprint, would have killed me. I probably would not have come back to the game. Just saying. I don't know what you all. Yeah. So, anyhow. Yeah. So I just did a whole bunch of terraforming skills because I wanted to see about, well, cleaning up the ground here, smoothing it out and leveling it out. And if I can raise things or lower things, like, I'm almost hesitant to like, do I want to try it here? how would I raise the ground up? Like, I want to bring the ground up, but I want it to be smoothed all around. And then over here, I want to bring the ground down, but smoothed. Okay, it kind of appears to be doing that. Different tool. Because I don't know anything about terraforming, to be honest. I've never done it before. Tools. Here's my tools. So, that's the Planet Smooth tool. Here is the mining tool, which I found out you can take out chunks of ground, but it's not very clean. You know? Yeah, I did that, General Tragedy, but I guess I did it on too small of a scale. I literally just got back from doing that, General. Flatten tool will lower and raise if you have the stuff. Oh, so I do need the okay. So I do... Is it this flatten tool? Flatten planet terrain at a defined height. Okay, so let's put that there. Yes. Thank you, Castle. And thank you, General, also. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's go... Now that I know where that is... Let's go back there and mess around. Oh, also, while we're on our way, I want to ask you guys, and gals if you're here too, if you've ever seen anything like this. There are ruins on my property. These structures right here. Like these worn and weathered, looks like concrete and steel structures. Like if you, like if I look up in the sky and hit H, like it doesn't give me anything, but if I have any kind of ground in the background, it's just going to tell me it's soil. Yeah, I have like some sort of ruins on my property. It's kind of bananas. Also there's a stump over here somewhere with mushrooms on it. I was trying to remember what kind of mushrooms grow on stumps and logs and trees like this. It's not chanterelles, is it? Anyways, yeah. I'm on Haven, by the way. Okay, so let's go down here, because I was messing around with these little bumps. Okay, so is this... This is what you're saying. You would use the flatten tool. Okay. That was... Can I undo that? I guess I'll use the smooth tool to undo it? Yes. Okay, what if I want to... No. Huh. What if I want to flatten that down to the ground to a lower altitude? Would I start flattening over here? Oh, I see. It really does not like that when I do that, does it? What the heck? To the height where the circle is aimed. Okay. It's taking a little practice. It's a good thing I did come back down here. That was a good idea, y'all. Yeah, see, it just goes to show you can always learn something new in this game. I never did any of this really in the beta, so I'm not familiar with how it works. The show? What is the show? Glitchy at times because the system does not keep up with the tool. But don't panic, just change the spot by a hair or two and try again. Okay. And then I would imagine, yeah, so like when it gets jaggedy like this, I can use the smooth tool to, yeah, clean that up. Okay. To add mass, you need to have soil enter in your inventory. Yeah, so I had enough sense to come back up here and click on the keep non-precious ore. The question is, am I let me switch. Yes, okay, so we got 114 cubic meters. I'm out of range of my container at the moment. So when I was down here before, so I have another 100 and something cubic meters of soil. When I went back up to the spaceport there, I put it into my main inventory. But I'm out of range of my container, which is at the outpost up there. I should probably move all that, centralize it back here with the spaceport so that I have range on my tile. Okay, so the flatten tool, when aiming, control, when aiming the flatten tool. Oh, that's curious. So, I don't have very much. 114.96. Is it supposed to raise it up when you're holding control? What about Alt? Same thing. Internal server error. Gee, I haven't seen that ever before. Alt doesn't seem to do anything. Control. Nope. Okay. No worries. At least it gets rid of all the grass, so it's not floating like it was before. Can we find that floating grass that I made? It was just like 10 or 15 minutes ago. Yeah, here. Here's my floating grass that I made before. Bitrate looks good there. Also, I just thought of something. I was able to... Did the audio not work on this last night? I'm gonna try something real quick. Let's do the NDI HX for the capture. And then... Nope, this one. And then we're going to switch to KSP. Okay, that's smoother, but you're not going to hear any of the game audio. Or the music that I have playing. Do I have the list queued up here? I don't know. Does not look like it. I can always go over to this PC. I do have to do some weird finagling and moving around. Hopefully, can you guys hear that music? And hopefully it's not too loud. It's not louder than I am, is it? Okay, let's go here. Oops. I can hear it if I take off my headphones, because it's playing through that screen on that computer. And then it's showing me that the audio mixer is playing the audio. Yeah, I don't know what it is with these different scenes that I have, and then the NDI source. The biggest problem is just that using the one NDI source from this computer to there, the frame rate drops at times, and it just doesn't look smooth. But if I switch to the NDI HX encoder, I can smooth it up, like it's clean again, going between computers. And everything is hardwired. It's all on Ethernet, so yeah. Anyhow, back to... It's very quiet? Okay, that's fine. That's what I wanted it to be. I don't want it to be overpowering and too loud. It's just meant to be there in the background to give you a sense of, like, ambiance. So, don't want to be able to... You don't want it drowning me out, is the idea. Okay, so anyhow, back to this thing. Yeah, I came over here and I found my floating grass that I made on my first trial before you guys all came in with the raid. Yeah, okay, so that gets rid of the grass. That smooths that out. Yeah, so that's funny. The smooth tool does not get rid of the grass, but the flatten tool does. And the rocks. Huh. Alright, control, flatten. Oh, my. Fills that in. And then the smooth tool helps clean it up. I think that for all intents and purposes, we can get a close approximation with the tools that we have on hand. So I can make the circle that small with the smooth tool, or that large. So smallest, largest radius. Flatten tool, that's the smallest, that's the largest. Yeah, that's not so large, is it? Okay, that helps raise everything up that way. How much material do I have on hand? Yeah, now I'm up 238. Trees too, okay. Take lightly smaller steps, keeping target on previous level if you're trying to make a larger, yeah. That's kind of what I'm gathering right now is understanding how that works. That's the smallest circle for the smooth. That's the max. If I want to fill in those gaps there. That's the maximum versus the minimum. It looks like it's trying to fill in, but not very successfully. Yeah, it's still messing up right in this particular spot. I wonder if I shrink that down. Smooth? Yeah, those holes are going to be there. I guess that's where I would use that other tool that I had in there originally. The mining tool, maybe? Yeah, because if you hold down Alt, then you can fill it in with the soil. And that's the smallest I can make that, and then I would just smooth that. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so that's... Okay, so for my terraforming purposes, where did my flatten tool go? There's the flatten. And then the mine tool, which I really don't ever hardly use any of these terraforming things. Okay. I think it's making sense now. I can flatten things out, and I can smooth it so you don't get those hard lines like that. Clean that up. Okay. So this question... Landscaping business, yeah, right? Okay, so what if... Let me look at something. I want to look at... So I got 276 cubic meters of soil. If I flatten here, so it's slightly uphill from here, but I want to flatten this... So it took a chunk out there. It did. So it went from 276 to 321. And then if I flatten that, 321 to 337. Okay, so that's doing that. Now, if I go over here and I flatten from the top, it fills that in. Drop back down to 337. Wait. I'm getting more. It's going up. 346. Still at 346. Still at 346. Is it just lagging out and bugging on me? What the heck? Because I'm filling in, I'm raising the ground. I would expect this number here to go down on the soil. It's still at 346.56. Huh? Raise lower to a max. You dig into a mountain, it will end up creating a squared off tunnel. Okay. Yeah, because I can't get it to fill in right here. There's that. Yeah, it's not filling in here now. I guess this would be, maybe I could I just made an empty donut shape with the flatten tool and the mining tool. So, if anybody wanted to know how to make one of those, that's how you do it. Now I'm just using the mining tool to fill in the gaps here, and then we'll flatten this, I suppose. Yeah, we can smooth it. Yep. Yeah, it's not filling in this half of the circle right there. That's weird. We did use some soil because I filled in some holes. Yeah, someone will buy that. But, okay, so if I go... And then we're going to fill this in. Yeah, I would have to use the mining tool to fill in all these weird little gaps. And then flatten it. Okay, well, I guess it's a good thing that I equipped the mining tool as well. We could probably smooth that, I hope. Yeah, so it doesn't look quite as unnatural. Interesting. Look at that. I'll say it again. I learn something new in this game every single day, it seems like. Playing since beta. Like when beta first launched back in September 2020. Is that the smallest? Yeah, it is. Okay, so filling in that gap in the voxels there. Okay, that makes sense. Just like regular voxels. Drop your fill in closer next to the area you want to match, then the gaps will not appear as much. Yeah, exactly. You won't need the mining tool. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, right? Alright. I have had 2 cups of hot chocolate tonight and a couple of hydrates from y'all. I'm going to take a quick bio break. I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. So, thoughts. Should we do the thing? Should we make the attempt? I feel like I could do it. You're now linked to your active container. Heck yeah, let's go. Also, I'll move that soil in there since, you know, it might come in handy. Hey, Castle, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the crew. Everybody tonight, all of y'all that followed, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so... Dun-dun-dun. Do we dare attempt the things? I collected snow. I didn't realize I had any here. Yeah, rather curious. We have, Haven Forest Soil. Haven Soil. What? Reached max depth. Really? I didn't realize that would be a thing. Got some more snow. Like, it's barely inside the hill. I haven't even dug in that far yet. Alright, there's the sit-down timer. Ugh. Stand up, sit down every 30 minutes. Helps with the back. That's why I had a cliff to the left. Really? Did I miss that somewhere? You mean, is that like why there's the line there between the green and the brown? Okay, I'm stopped. We're hanging out. To your right. Can you use the compass? Do I need to be looking straight south? Or west? Or east? West. Look down. So that's all the stuff that I just did just now with the flatten tool. Yeah, I made that cliff. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is it exposing a completely different terrain? Yeah, down here at the bottom. That was with the flatten tool. That was max depth. Huh. Okay, weird. So what if I smooth it? Oh, it turns green. To add some fill to get under your other leg. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So with the flatten tool is the one that we were using before, right? For yeah, there's the control. That's what I thought. Okay, and then we can smooth that so it's a little more natural looking. Actually, let's do it at this level, maybe? That might be a little bit too high. Maybe this level, right about there? It's not filling in over here, though. What? Why you no fill? Right there it's working. Yeah, I'm using the control key. Yeah, this is what it... Internal server error. It was doing this down there as well. Like, it would get to us to the edge. So, holding down control. That's as far as that line will go. It won't go beyond that. That's why I had the... filling up with this. In order to get it to fill in the gaps. Even here, if I fill, how much soil do I have? Okay, so here we've got 3 different kinds of soil, 2 different kinds of soil. And snow. Yeah. But that's only important when we're using the mining tool. So I could... Which soil is this? I don't even know. What if I drag this... There's that soil, and then there's that soil. So if I do the fill that way, flatten it that, it ends up... That's the forest soil. Oh, interesting. Huh. Weird. Not gonna lie. But yeah, you can see how much of this hill I can dig out underneath the spire. Blobs out and then flatten. Yeah, that's what I think I'll end up doing. But this soil is definitely different than this soil. Even though they're named exactly the same. That is so weird that it does that. I want it all to be green, because if I put down this soil, it looks like the rock. It's the different... Oh, wait, what? Grass will usually disappear when flattening, leaving dirt. Yeah. So if I smooth those, this one ends up green on top instead of having that rocky material. This one ends up being the brownish material, which is what's down there. Yeah, the green versus the brown. That's the difference with these materials. So, if I flatten this... Yikes. Brown is the forest soil, maybe. Yeah, so Haven forest soil. But see, they're not labeled differently over there. And if you look in your inventory, they're both labeled soil. It's hard to tell the difference, like which one is which. One is large, one is small. So the small, I think, is the Haven, is the forest soil. Yeah, whereas the big one is that soil. Yeah. And if I smooth it, it ends up turning green. So there's that. Yeah, exactly. Internal server error. You punk. Yeah, if I cut away too much, though, it's all going to be the rock instead of the green that I want. I wonder how I can fix that. I guess I might have to cut a little bit underneath and then refill it with this green material and smooth it. Yeah, that's true, Zypher. Because the smoothing tool makes it all green here. So if I fill in, like if I just put a spot of the forest soil and then smooth, because if I flatten, oh, that's curious. Let's try flattening this and see. Huh. I usually wear that until you get bored. That was interesting to see how that is turning green versus the stone. Oh, huh. Weird. Okay, well. Hey, thanks, Krushova. Krushova. How do you say your name? I'm curious now. I hope I said it right. Somehow. Thanks for the follow. Welcome board. Thanks for joining the crew. Okay, I'm starting to get a handle on this. For how we want things to go, I think. Or you think you can or you think you can't. You're probably right. I want there to be some sort of easy transition between all of this. You know, at some level, like, oh, you can see where I was able to, like, separate out so I wasn't wasting concrete building underground. So I'm going to have to recopy over here for this part of the leg. Can I take out smaller chunks? There we go. Why? So it will trigger any OCD issues for a very long time. Yeah. I guess that's kind of what I'm going to have to live with. I just traded one for the other. So the reason I started building on this is because I was using the VPT to clean up one of my spaceships, one of my jets, the Executive. And I've been doing it for a handful of days and it was kind of getting to me. So I was like, I need a change of pace. And now I'm doing the same thing over here. Way to go, Brad. Wow, that's kind of wild how it is smoothing out, flattening. And then this voxel is gonna come out and stab me if I keep doing this. Weird. Okay, so if I wanted to build, hit it with a mining tool, yeah. And yeah, this one too, you can see where I stopped copying and pasting when because I knew it was going to be underground, so I was trying to, you know, save myself the material. Picking up some more snow. Need space for deploying stuff? Yeah. You've been doing the same today? Interesting. Who would have thought we'd both be terraforming on the same day? Actually, I think I can go larger with that tool. Yeah! Okay, maybe not that large. Getting a little carried away. Let's fill that back in. Ooh. This actually reminds me a little bit of No Man's Sky. I was doing this for a base years ago in No Man's Sky. I was making like an underground tunnel kind of structure, if you will. And increasing calculations for your area will cause lag issues to appear for very long. Uh-oh. But yeah, I did something kind of like this because I was going to try and build an underground tunnel in No Man's Sky, and then I ended up cutting out a chunk of a hill to flatten out my base. Which is not unlike what I'm literally doing here right now with this base. Oops. I accidentally right-clicked on that. This is much better than the mining tool. It hits a much larger area. That's for sure. Gets wonky pretty easy, yeah. I'm familiar. More snow. Okay, so this one is flatten tool. We need to go this direction. So we're going to have to extend that leg out. Smooth that. Do I have enough concrete? Among other materials. Alright, and over here. Hello, lag. I pushed the button. Rotate it. No, not vertically, you silly goose. Oh, my drama. horizontally, vertically. Yep, that's the right spot. All right. Paste that there. Flatten. I actually wouldn't mind having a little bit of a slope so that these are partially buried back here as opposed to the ones on the other side that are like not in the ground at all. I mean, I want to bring the ground up to that level, but I still want it to be, you know, fairly natural looking. Like you can tell it's on a hill and on a slope. I'd prefer if all of this stone turned green. One can only hope, I suppose. But one thing's for sure. Excuse me. One thing is for sure. Now it's really starting to come out. Okay, so I need to copy and paste over here. Oh, we're missing a spot. Okay, fine. I can fix that too. Rotate 90 degrees. I don't know how far I need to go on this one. Oh, right there? Yeah, right there. What do you mean invalid construct? Okay, so it's mostly complete. We just got to fill in a couple of gaps. Also, how much concrete do I have left? Okay, 219 cubic meters of mat gray, so that's fine. That's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so let's copy from here to here. Actually, let's go one more. And then over to the side. Copy, tap R to mirror it, and then rotate, hold the R, scroll wheel, paste that there. And then, what are we gonna do? All right, let's figure out, oh, that's on the other core. Okay, from there to there. Let's bring that across the other side. All right, copy that. Mirror it. Something's wrong. Okay. What am I missing? From there to there, if I go to this side, okay, so let's just hit escape. We'll select that voxel, straight down, copy that over, all the way back there, copy that. Okay, so now let's mirror this. What am I? Oh, I guess I just needed to paste it in there. Interesting. Okay, fine. Switch cores. I guess mirror it? Yeah. This one, whoops. Wrong core. So yeah, in case you are wondering, this is 2 cores. They're at an X, 45-degree angles. That's how I'm able to get the offset like this. Wow, that was almost perfectly aligned there. Heck yeah, let's go. Okay. Dude, look at that. That is a thing of beauty, let me tell you. There's still a few little anomalies that I'm going to have to clean up and figure out between the 2 cores being offset. Once I have enough matte gray concrete, I'm going to do the exact same thing up here with the 2nd core. I just don't have enough. I need another 2,000 or 3,000 matte gray concrete just to finish this half of the structure. There's another medium core that goes on top of this that goes up here. Did I show you all that already? When you came in with the raid? I thought I did. Or was that the other raid? I'm trying to remember. How long have I been streaming tonight? 3 hours? 2.5. It all kind of blends together, you know what I mean? Mike! What is this? Futuristic rounded Minecraft? Yeah, dude, so here's the square Minecraft. And then here's what happens when you hit it with the smoothing tool. How you been, buddy? Long time no see. Did you finish out the last season of Fortnite? I did. I haven't played this season yet. This chapter, season, whatever it is. For y'all don't know, CoFlow Mike is a streamer buddy from a long time ago. We used to stream a lot of Fortnite together. Back in the day, like years ago. And we played a little bit last season off stream. Hung out a bit. But yeah, I don't know enough people to play Fortnite with these days. So that's why I haven't played this season yet. But yeah, here's what we're doing. Here's my property. Working on... So the spaceport I built from a blueprint that I had set up in beta. And then the spire here, well, This is the one structure that I did not have a blueprint for. Way to go, Brad. So I'm having to rebuild it from scratch, right? I do have some screenshots of it. So at least I have that as a reference. And I have, you know, this thought in my mind, like what it's supposed to look like. And then I had some reference parts or pieces, if you will, my voxel library that I used to get started on this again. So it's time to stand up. Got enough V-Bucks you could buy a battle pass? Okay, you haven't played much. Well, hit me up whenever, dude. Like, I need to get back in there and get caught up. I'm about, what, 5 weeks behind right now? Yeah. So, on top of this, let me go... Can we make the hop? Yes, we made the hop. Let's do this. I am actually going to copy that, and then can I? Yes, okay. So that's the central platform there. So I'm going to do this. Here's the plan. Mike, grab that. MC Town Central. That. Let's line up that center line. Those two look lined up, right? Move that up, maybe not that far. There. And then maybe about like that. So, the bottom half, still working on it. But I have the blueprint for the top half. So that's going to be another medium core stacked on top of that existing medium core. I ran out of material, I ran out of concrete, so I need to get the concrete together for this before I can build it. But at least I have the blueprint, and this is the most complicated thing I made thus far. Up to and including all the glass panels for the domes. There are 5 domes. There's 4 around, front, back, left, and right, and then there's a dome on top, right? That I did using glass panels. Thank you, Monster. But I ran out of concrete, and I haven't even finished the base, the bottom of the spire here, right? So I need another 2,000 cubic meters of concrete, maybe, to finish the base, and then this section up here requires 3,800 cubic meters of concrete. So at some point I gotta go out and buy that. Hopefully somebody... Actually, now that I think about it, I should check Discord for the trade channel if anybody responded to my... Nope. Box library, all that. Nothing there yet. Hopefully somebody will see it and be like, hey, I'll sell you some concrete. But I've also been considering... We have a voxel store. Yes. Honeycombs, right? I've also been considering, because Fjordface put this forward to us earlier tonight, about an hour ago, maybe more, about using a different material. Something that I can make, no talents, no skills, no industry, right? And that's brick. So I did some material testing earlier, and it looks like the waxed gray brick might actually work. But what I need, Monster, is matte gray concrete. I need probably another 5,000 or 6,000 cubic meters of matte gray concrete. Alternatively, if it's going to be a material that I can make myself with no industry and no talents, that would be the matte gray brick, or the waxed gray brick. But I've always been building with matte gray concrete, so I've always been partial to it. I've always liked it. I mean, everything else that I've ever built, I mean, the spaceport, this silly thing, this is all matte gray concrete. So all of this is matte gray concrete. This dome here, everything. And then the original spire back in the beta, it's all matte gray concrete. But one of the things that I was mentioning earlier, so you can see the pattern underneath right here on the concrete, how it has like this repeating pattern. The waxed gray brick does not have that pattern. It's actually pretty smooth. But because this structure is so varied, it's not as flat, you really can't see that concrete pattern. So for me, like, it's fine. Yeah, we can totally do this with concrete. At least that's the default that I would like to do. These are little patches that I use for alignment and stuff. So 950K A1000. So that's 950,000 per 1,000 cubic meters. Is that what you're quoting? Matte gray concrete. Oh, this dude's selling it at 500 for... Let me look at that. So if I bought 1,000 of this, how does that match up? So it's 500,000 per 1,000 cubic meters from this one seller. There's only one seller at Market 6 that's selling it. So if I bought out his entire, I could buy out his entire inventory. 5,000, 30. It's 2.5 million. I could buy that. However, I have somebody waiting on me for another order for parts that I ordered. We just haven't been able to catch up. Oh, can you, Saper? Here's the thing. So, the money that I have... Oh, I'm at 4.8 million. What do you know? So I need 2.5 million to pay somebody right now for the parts I need for my freighter. And then my freighter, I could go to Market 6 and pick this up. So it's like, I'm just shy of doing that myself. So that's where I'm at. But I haven't heard from the seller of those engines and stuff, so just type in !position. And you can get my location here on Haven. And then you can copy that from chat into your game. Yeah, that's my Haven address right there. So, and actually, you know what? I could go do the space VR. I might be at... That might put me at 5 million right there. 20 minutes? All right. Do it. That's the only... That's all marketplaces. It's the only one that's selling matte gray concrete. Oh, bam. Okay, sweet. Problem solved. You know what? I'm wondering... What did Bomb Diggity use for his arch? Bomb Diggity is one of my neighbors, also a member of Infinity Corporation. That arch over there is on a large core, which is as tall as 2 mediums. So that arch is as tall as my spire will be once it's finished, or at least assembled. It won't be finished. It'll be assembled at least. Wait, what? Why are we exceeding 20 tons? Oh, because I'm building the flap. Oh, curses! Processing ore right now. And I don't have any other ships over here that I can fly. I guess I gotta go all the way back to the spaceport. So I can get into something and fly over to Bomb Diggity's property and not take all night doing that. It's already taking long enough just to get halfway across my property. You know what I mean, Vern? Alright, let's fly up here. I'm going to grab the silver bullet because it's pocketable and I can just unpack it real quick. Oh, come on. Seriously? Yeah. Well, at least this ship can fly. At least this has the horsepower and the hover engines to carry that kind of weight. Okay, so let's go visit Bomb Diggity. I want to see what material that was used for this bad boy. Oh, hey, look who was doing some terraforming. Ha! Alright, let's land over here. Hop out. Yeah, see, this is a large core right here. And then you move it down to the bottom. And then what material did he use? Glossy white plastic. Huh. It's like the whole ivory white, like, you know, clean look, that's for sure. God, such smooth lines. So, from what I understand, he used the line tool to do all of this entire arch, this curve. So that you can see, like, well, I can see it. There's one end of the line there where it comes down to here. And then the next line starts and goes up there, and then the next line. He made this back in beta without the VPT. Strictly voxelmancy, line tool and everything. Yeah, pretty flipping amazing. So, what's going on over here? Ooh, we got some circle stuff. Solids, cone type shapes. Whoa. What are... Basic mining unit, large. Holy smokes. Ah! It looks like the Ed 209 from frickin' RoboCop, dude. That's hilarious. And this skull right here. I wonder what he did with his... Did he move all his stuff over to Infinity? Hey, Squeak! You're not nice to myself. Can't tell me what to do. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Mike was in here just a minute ago. We were talking about Fortnite and stuff again. He's like, what are you doing? These voxels, Minecraft, making curves. I'm over here visiting my neighbor because I wanted to see this arch. I wanted to figure out what material he used, and it looks like he used the glossy white plastic. For anybody who's interested, any of you folks that came over with the raid, I am selling the silver bullet for 250k. It is pocketable, Atmo only. No talents, you should probably be able to get 800 plus kilometers an hour. I have like 90 and 80% talents across the board for flying, so I typically get at 3,000 meters and above, 20% throttle, I can get around 1,100 kilometers an hour. And she's pretty. shiny, smooth, sleek, badass. Lurking. Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, pocketable ship, so just Alt-B, bam. Let's get up top here. I have a dispenser here for anyone who wants to buy it. Come on. Give me... Okay, bam. And then pick it up, turn it around. Get it situated and arranged. For the showroom look, so to speak. Ah! There we go. Close enough. Good enough for government work. So yeah, Silver Bullet. This is version 6. I cleaned it up with the Vertex Precision tool. I did pretty much all that in beta, though, with just regular Voxomancy. So I did some cleanup. There is room for a extra small container if you don't want it to be pocketable. You just stick it right in there. But yeah, 250 for that. The Intrepid is space capable. So you got a medium Atmo, 2 small space, small Atmo, and 2 extra small Atmos up on the pod. Space engine extra smalls, you got 4 of them as thrust reversers. 2 extra small containers, whoop, for packing some light cargo. You know, your suitcase and maybe some beer, that sort of thing. This one I cleaned up quite a bit more with the VPT. I was able to get the cowling for the space engine here, I was able to get it separated from the fuselage and make a nice clean break, a nice line where it's nice, you know, sharp and defined. Also cleaned up the nose so it matches up better with the strake in terms of the line coming forward. And then just cleaning up the voxels around the cockpit so that it's more curved and smoothed right along there with it. So, how the ship show today, so he's busy. Oh, okay. So, I don't know if you saw Monster. Saper's on their way with the other order. So we kind of made it was, you know, the opportunity was there. Saper jumped in. Sorry about that. But in the future, if Saper's not around, I will certainly look to you as well as another supplier. Keep you on my Rolodex. And then for anybody else who hasn't seen the Executive yet, this is a space-capable VIP private jet. I've been cleaning up a lot of these lines. This is way cleaner than it used to be, especially underneath where the canard and the wing goes here. And then also the wing de-icers. Well, they're not really wing de-icers, but cleaning up that line, cleaning up this line. There's still some wrinkles, some bumpiness that I need to clean up there. And then you can get in through the door here. There are 6 extra small containers. Again, luggage only. If you need to go potty, you can certainly get some privacy back in here in the shower and whatnot. But the VIP lounge, you got a couple of couches, nice wood floor, executive table, desk there. Crew cabin up front. Got your 2 crew members. There's the bar with your McAllen and Glenlivet. The sink and other various things. Engineer and navigator seat behind the pilot. So, Buck Wild. Okay. Obsidian, Paradox, Honeycomb, Central Sails. Alright. Good to know. We'll keep you all in mind. And if you happen to be in and you hear me talking about looking for Honeycomb, Yeah, let me know. Because I'm sure I'm going to need more. I'm sure of it. Because even what I have on the blueprint there is not complete. Like, I never did finish the spire 100%. I got the bare bones built. So, yeah. But, anyhow, I duplicated the executive. I've been doing all my VPT work over here on the copy. That way, if I screw it up, I still have the original over there on the ship, right? So I can just copy from there and bring it back and fix that. So, I'm just Jay Leno. I collect ships, LOL. Yeah. So you can see I was trying to fix the windows. I was trying to make them rounder. I was trying to make them oval. I just didn't really like the shapes. So anyhow, I was working on this for like multiple days in a row and I needed a break. So taking a break from that, I came over here and I built this. This is the madness that is Sci-Fi Bradley building voxels. And then we discovered terraforming tonight. Well, we didn't discover it. I got some nice lessons, some helpful tips from folks on how to do the terraforming. So now I'm actually like cutting this out from the hill and extending the rest of these legs so that you can actually see everything, right? So it looks nice and clean. Because these were like these two were buried pretty much up to where that white line is, where the luminescent glass goes. Like both of these were buried up to there. This one was buried up maybe not quite to the white line, but it was pretty far up. So, you know, 3 of the 8 were buried to a certain degree, and I didn't like the way it looked. And then over here, these ones are kind of sticking out, like floating above the ground. So I'm going to bring up the soil here, hopefully. Yeah, and especially right here, just to level it all out, give it a nice flat platform. But overall, I'm liking how it's turning out. I just ran out of material, so, you know, it makes it kind of hard to finish things. One of the other things that I was planning on doing tonight that I just never got around to is, let me show you. Actually, I'm going to have to switch cores because this is on the other core. This is 2 cores that are offset 45 degrees, so it's like an X. That's how you get that effect right down there. But the 2 cores are stacked right on top of each other and then just rotated 45 degrees. So what I want to do is I want to copy this bad boy all the way down to here. And then, can I paste it in here? If I rotate it 90 degrees, no, 180 degrees. And then I gotta drop it down to the ground. No, you cannot. So the plan here is to so you see all these little blocks? I was trying to empty out the unused voxels. I wanted to recover the concrete so that I could build some more stuff. As it turns out, you can cut with voxels. Yeah, you can cut with voxels. So I want to go down to here. I need to move that to the left and then in like 2. And then, yes, true, Squeak. What do you want to play? Do you want to do some Fortnite? Do you want to do some Aliens Fireteam Elite? Do you want to do... Okay, so now you see the side that I did not cut, and now you see the side that I just cut with that other form, and you can see how much in terms of voxels I just recovered. I recovered a whole bunch of concrete by cutting that out with that form. Although I did miss some of it. I didn't get quite the right shape on the form because there's still that stair step. It should be smooth like this is up here. Yeah. Also, picking up the concrete. Okay. Sweet. Thank you, Saper. Let's do this. So if I wanted to, I could literally paste it on this one. Do the exact same thing so you guys can get a sense of how that looks. Okay, so let's bring it forward, over. So down. Okay, so let's bring it out this way. 2 voxels. Down 1. See your ship. Nice. Hold down Alt and then click or tap Enter. And then, yeah, see, it cleans all that up, but it screwed that up. So I didn't move it quite as far as it needed to go. Or I move it back 2 and cut it this way. Let's try this. So Alt, Enter. Look how smooth and beautiful that is. Okay, so I just had to move it 2 back. Oh my gosh. Oh, but it screwed that up. What? I think I might have just discovered a new way to make hexes. Did you just see that? That was completely accidental, y'all. Okay, hold up. Yes, very cool. We are gonna copy, we're gonna copy this. We're gonna preserve this. I gotta go put that somewhere so that I don't lose it. We're gonna add it to the voxel library on the spaceport. Ah! Hold up. I'll keep it low to the ground so y'all can come and look at it. How does it look? Wait, now it's triangles. Okay. So if you're in the build mode, it's hexes. It's like it's just, yeah, see, it looks like hexes here. But if you exit build mode, it reverts to the triangles. Shoot. Here I went and I thought I had something freaking cool. No, not one of those. This is just one of those, I don't know. I'll leave it there just in case. Let's go look. What does it look like from here? Let me grab... What if I stand on... Oh yeah, it is triangles from down here. Shoot. Okay, well... Zypher, the way I did it... Cool ice tea, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna undo that. What do you mean invalid operation? Oh, I need to link that container. Let's put that back in there. I forgot I unlinked it when I was doing my pocket ship. I can't undo it because I took that. Alright, I'm gonna have to delete that. I literally do not have enough concrete to undo the action, is what it was telling me. So basically what I was doing was deleting voxels with my voxel shape, Zypher. I don't know if you're familiar with that, if you've done it yet or not. I imagine you have. Also, I need to get on this core, not the other core. Oh, it's not going to let me do it now. Shoot. Well, maybe if I... I gotta go down a core? Which core is this on? This is on the offset core, right? Shoot, I don't remember. I gotta grab all the way to there. Well, how far does it go? It goes out to the side. Let's copy this much and see if that works. Time to sit down. Ugh. Okay, so... Am I on the proper... No, I'm not. Shoot. I gotta switch cores again. Reset the timer there. Okay, so rotate horizontal. Rotate vertical? No. Which way does this need to rotate? This does need to rotate vertically, just not that vertical. It needs to rotate this vertical. Here we go. Okay, and then... let's make it just matte gray concrete. Hey, Mini Kai! Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the crew. I hope I said your name right. KHY. Hold up. Yep, okay, cool. This is not the same copy. Okay, I did not copy that. This is actually... backwards from what it should be. Yeah, it needs to be mirrored and rotate it. Rotate that, and then horizontal this way. And then, oh, Frel. Shoot, how do I fill that in? Way to go, Brad. Screw everything up. So the whole point of having this part sitting off to the side was so that when I go and construct the top, the part would be ready. It was already rotated and positioned and set up, and I went and foobarred it tonight. Way to go. Anyhow. But yeah, just to give you Zypher, what I had done was I had copied my voxels here, right? I had copied that, and then I dropped it in here. Let's go down, sorry. Dropped it in here. And then I had set it inside, just like this. Because all the voxels, see how they're all blocky and squared off like this? Like, those are wasted voxels. That's material I could be using for building. So what I did was I put the shape in here, and if you hold down Alt and then click, it cuts the voxels for you to the shape that. So what it did is it also deletes all of the voxels that were in there and puts it back into your inventory, so you get to recover the lost voxels. But now I can't even fix that screw up, which now I have all these weird honeycomb things here. Yeah, I completely foobarred this. This is actually a copy off of... Actually, you know what? I have the vertical already, so I technically don't need this anymore. I can copy from this vertical here that's already made. But Dual Universe has a maximum allowable copy volume, which is that, basically. So that's why I had set it aside to use for future stuff. So if we go down here... Oh, I'm on the wrong core. Hold up. Switch. Quick like a bunny. Okay, here to here. That's the full 90 degrees there. And then, as far as I can go up, and then over here, and over here. I think that might be the limit there. We're going to find out here shortly. It might be 2 more voxels. Nope. Keep going. Maybe it's these 2 voxels. But in keeping the symmetry, you know, because it's all 90 degrees this way and that way, copying quarter units. Okay, so there's the limit for the selection area. Hopefully I can grab here. Yep, okay, so there's the maximum copyable selection area. There to there, center to center. So that's the section that I just screwed up. Okay, let's pull that out. Hold down T, roll the mouse wheel, and I'm going to kind of position it off to the side here. Okay. Then, because I ran out of luminescent glass, I had also switched materials. I was using matte carbon fiber for the center line instead of the luminescent glass. Eventually I want it to be luminescent glass so that I have like glowing lines, you know, up and then down on this shape so that it helps flow everything to the center, and then center lines in the middle also glass. But this helps me center. Okay, so yeah, so by cutting that out, the idea is that I can take that... I just had a thought, because I literally just copied and pasted that there. I can... Do I have enough material to do another one? 179 cubic meters. Here's the big experiment. We're going to find out. Okay, so there's mashed up. So push it out one, out one. So that way one, and then that way one. I should probably do, because it's a curve, I should probably do it two. So one more that direction and one more that direction. Vertically, it's all set. Now I'm going to hold down Alt, click. Let's check the outside. Oh, it's so beautiful! Look at all that. I recovered all of that concrete now that was sitting inside of here. I can do that on... So this is a quarter. So that means each... Oh, that's not even a quarter. That's 1, 2... So it's 2 per side. So this is a 1/8, right? Because there's 2 of these per side, left, right, front, back. I can do that on all of these. What? All of that material I can recover. In theory, because I just did it right there. And it's clean on the outside where it counts. Okay. Hold up. I want to see. Yeah, look. Now I'm at 200. I have 249 macrame. Before it was at, what was it? 176, 156. Before I did the cutout. So I just picked up another 70 cubic meters of concrete by doing that, by cleaning that up. And look at how smooth that line is. This stuff on the inside we're never going to see, in theory. So I'm not too worried about it. It's the outside curve here. Yeah. And coincidentally, that's why I have this section, because I was doing that cutout. That's why up here it's smoothed, because I was already doing this cutout with the voxels there. So it's just a matter of like fitting it where it needs to go. So if I paste that here, it needs to go on this corner. Move that down. So if I can align that with itself. Okay, so now, so I need to go to this direction, Alt, Enter. All right, it's still clean on the outside. Let's go upstairs and look down. Oh, yes. Look at how much material that is, cleaning that out. What are we at? Material, matte, macrame concrete. Now we're at 303. We just bumped up, what was it, 246? Yeah, buddy. That's what I am talking about. Okay, so 303 on that one. Hey, it's the 303. Denver folks know what that is. All right, let's turn that 90 degrees. You're landing? Oh. Oh. I'm looking for you. Which way are you coming from? North, south, east, west? I'm looking for you. I'm on the... Oh, there you are. Oh, there, you brought the ship with the new smoothie. Bonk. Did I leave the X-Jet up there? I did. Okay. I see you. Yeah! Dude, seeing these in person, you did a good job with your smoothing. Look at that. With your engine nacelles. I like it, dude. Whoa! Check that thing out. Beautiful. SU-200X Mark II. Okay, I can now. It was bouncing me off before. Hey! Welcome, welcome! Nice to meet you finally, in person. Oh, the door does work. Oh wow, you got the stairs right there. Do a little hop. Force field's in the way though. Logs go here. Nice. Oh, nice table. Couple pieces of glass. Nice. Oh, and you got little handles here next to the doors too. Oh, that's cool. Never thought of that. Oh, elevator. I wonder if that should work. Ah, look at that. Oh boy. Oh, I like. Okay, so you got the transparent floor effect going on here. That's cool. And then your pilot seat up here. Big windows for the cockpit. Should be able to see everything. Nice. Plants back here. Oh, you got bunks. Oh, I never thought to use those like that. That way you don't fall out of bed, right? Nice. Your fuel tanks up there, space tanks. That's cool. I'm guessing all the rest of your stuff, yeah, there's your container hubs. You got all your containers and engines hidden back underneath there, right? That's a smart design. I like this. Oh, and you got these little containers up here. Oh, there's a door. Nice. Oh, perfect. So you can service your engines if you need to do any like repairs and stuff, right? Or not. There's a window there. But at least you can see it. Okay, that's cool. Oh, wait, there's a door over here for the bathroom. Nice. Oh, and you got your Weyland-Yutani right there. Excellent. That's cool, dude. I like it. Sweet. Yeah, it is, Monster. Clean little ship. I like it. You got the pattern carbon fiber. Oh, yes. All right, so what did we go on? The market price, right? What was the market price? It was like 2.5 million, right? Or maybe it was a little bit more. There was tax on it too. The Novacork and their tax thing, right? Does that work? All right, you're validating, confirming. Bam. Sweet. Thank you so much for going and getting that, bringing it on over. Yeah! Teamwork. Makes the dream work. And I got to see your ship. Hooray! Let's go take a look outside again. I want to see the... Let's see, where's the elevator? Right there. Oh, and you got the same doors on either side, so that's perfect. Oh, look at this nice voxelmancy right here. Nice thin little lines. Nice little shapes there. Oh, and more containers on the sides. Oh, that's a great idea for the light. And your steel beams. I like that. See, it's these little kinds of details that I just... sometimes I don't even think about them. Oh, look at this. You got the luminescent voxels with the lights. These are your front lights. Oh. Where'd you get that idea from, dude? That's a cool idea. And then it lines up flush with the shape along with the window. This whole angle right here on the front of the ship. You got some little mini voxels here. Given so those little edges. 95%. Okay. You also got some little voxels right along here. What are your plans with these little guys? I'm curious. See, I do voxelmancy, so I see little stuff like this. I'm like these little guys right here I'm noticing. These little guys right up under here. Like, yeah. Those are going to be Lumi as well? Okay. Cool, cool. Oh, this is nice. The little thin voxels there, like covering all that up. That's a lot of ailerons, dude. How much lift does this have? Holy buckets. You got 4 large Atmos, a whole mess of space engines, quite a few wings, space brakes there, even more space engines. Yeah, you did pretty good with your smoothing. I like what you did here. Adjusters there, the space brake hidden in there. Oh, what's that? More adjusters? Oh, yeah, I see. And again, I like what you did, like the contrast with the orange and the white. It works really well. And you've got all the little, like these little enhancements and these little details. Yeah, it's freaking gorgeous, man. You've done a lot of work on this. You got the little triangle shape popping back in there. Wings there. Oh, like that. That little cutout right there too. With the little section of white enhancing the orange. Dude, there are so many things that, yeah. Your antenna, your voxelmancy with your antenna, that's 2 voxels right there. For anybody who doesn't know, so what happened was take a voxel, right? Squish it down to the corner. And then the voxel that would be next to it, squish it down to the corner. And that's how you get 2 voxels next to each other that are that thin. And it makes for a great antenna. I like what you did there. That's freaking cool, dude. Yeah, that's offset voxel magic is what that is. Cool stuff. Once I get my original hilltop house, my outpost built from that blueprint, there's a lot of little details like this when I was learning how to do offset voxels. Like super thin and super small. Oh, the elevator takes me up. Okay, cool. Learning how to do the arches and the curves. I did all that on the house. That was my first experiment. Ah, here we go. Oh, and your core is up here. Nice. Oh, these dudes. Oh, that's the door. What? So the door covers the elevator? Nice. I like that idea. That's cool. Oh, these are armored windows right here. Is this plastic? Matte white plastic and then orange plastic? There you go. Yeah, and it's all matte. And then what's that? Oh, the decorative elements. Nice. Oh, look at this. Dude. Those are some cool shapes. You've got everything. Oh, dude. Yeah. Voxel magic right there. Going on for show. Yeah, I like what you did up here. This is a good job. I'm excited to see your next ship, too. I mean, this looks this good right now. Like, heck yeah, bro. Awesome. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's clearer up here with the luminescent. The trim pieces. I don't know why I couldn't see it down there. But yeah, the luminescent right there versus the white matte plastic. So I bet this has some nice distinct features when you're flying through space, yeah? Like when you look at it and you see those luminescent strips of glass. Yeah, it's day, that's why. So yeah, at nighttime I bet it also stands out. So nighttime or when you're in space, right? It probably looks really cool as far as like the highlights of where everything is on the ship. Man, you have so many good ideas in here. I am seriously like this right here too. Like just seeing these shapes right here, like just little things like that. And then your little lights, the little bits of luminescent glass here and there in various places. Your carbon fiber right there with your adjusters versus the white plastic. White pattern carbon fiber. All those little things. It's a good ship. Are you selling this? Have you put it on the marketplace? Because I bet you'll get quite a few people will want to buy this. You know? Oh, and this is black carbon fiber up here. Headlights there. Oh, and then, yeah, look at that. Again, luminescent glass, and then your radar right behind it. That's a nice, I like how you implemented that. It doesn't like stick out like a sore thumb like it does on everybody else's ships. That's one of the things that I don't like about certain of these elements. Just, they don't fit right, it seems. So, yeah, I like that you were able to implement it that way. And then here's your offset antenna voxels again. Nice. And then right here you got the carbon fiber mixed in with your white and then the orange highlights. Dude, I can go on and on about this ship. There's so many little things that you've done. The little angles right here. This angle, and it matches this angle. It's little things like that. Like, yeah, you could just have brought it straight in and done that, but putting the little angles in gives it just that little bit of, you know, it's just a little touch of artistic, you know, and then same thing here. Little 45-degree slant, and then cut the voxel there. Oh, and this. This cutout here. I can imagine that being one voxel, but stretched as far as the angle goes. Because that is not a 45-degree angle like that is up there. And like the steel bars that you have here on the top, and then the ones that you have on the side as well. Just the placement. Cool stuff, man. I like it a lot. And yeah, I'm sure you see... Oh, I didn't even see this yet. I'm sure I walked right past it too. So there's this box. Is this plastic? Okay, in the orange. I didn't even notice it until I was standing like right here. Oh, I see what you did. Wait, what is that? Those are those wingtips? What? You lined it up with the wingtip things. That's wild. The cable stuff. These are more wingtips, yeah? Stabilizers. Oh, I guess that's all part of that wing, isn't it? And then you use voxels to hide the wing, which that's something that I like to do. In general, I don't like looking at the wings, which is all why most of mine are all hidden and stuff, but yeah. I like your implementation there with that. Oh, it's like a frame, okay. With the steel bars, yeah. And then, oh, look at that. So you've got it, yeah, so you smooth your voxels down here to angle with the wing. Okay, nice. Rather than just having it come back straight and be like a square box, you actually have it narrow down. That's pretty cool, dude. space engine there. Yeah, so much stuff. Man, the way you've got your adjusters mounted, like the little recesses, and then like here, it's not a recess, it's actually out, but you used voxels to like, yeah, give it a housing, like a cowling or whatever. That's cool. I like you use the negative space here and then putting the color behind it. You've done that in a couple of different places, and I like your use of that with the color. And like here, you've got the black in the negative space versus the orange. Dude, like I said, I go on and on. There's so much cool stuff in here. Like looking at your work. Yeah. Wait. Oh! Right there. The wingtip, luminescent glass, little carbon fiber. Is that on all of them? No, just this one. See, little details like that. People are going to love it. Again, your use of negative space there and there. Yeah, it's on both. Yeah, stuff like that. Oh, it is on these. Okay. Yep, I see it now. Oh, and you've got luminescent up there between the cable doodads. Okay. And this right here. Nice little separators. I can only imagine the underside, all the stuff that you've got down here. Does your landing gear actually fit between that? Okay. It does, I see. Oh, look at those big old boosters. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, see underneath, like looking at these patterns and stuff here. Oh, and then you've got the lights underneath. I bet that looks really cool at night when you're landing too, huh? Yeah, and you got this blue light here. You got your shaped luminescent. Oh, more fancy voxelmancy. Look at that. Crazy. Are these space brakes or adjusters? Retro rockets. Okay, those are brakes, yeah. Yeah, all the lines, all the details. Man. That's a lot of work. And it looks amazing, dude. Such a fantastic ship. And all your attention to detail, it's fantastic. I love it. Haha. That's so cool. It's midnight! What? Oh, I can't believe it's already midnight. What are you talking about? Whoa. My container's full. Ha! It's 100%. Oh my. 7 a.m. there? Yeah, you're in the UK, right? Is that what I remember you said last night, or... Yeah, this won't fit because I don't have room for it. Browser frog! Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Oh, he is suddenly hitting me. The blue light gives a nice kind of subtle effect in there, along with the blue from the force fields, right? Yeah, all these little things. Those little lines right there with the luminescent glass, the little triangle interior. How about these lights? Do those lights come on? You got 2 extra smalls there on the sides, it looks like. Yeah. And it breaks the white light. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that was actually something. So I thought about using different color lights, like inside of the executive, um, for the VIP lighting in the lounge. And so what I did is I did slightly tint it so it's a little bit more. Oh, it's zone activated. Okay, so that makes sense. So inside the VIP cabin of the executive, it's not pure white. It's sort of an off-white color because of that. Because the white light can be really harsh, and if you want to create a warm kind of inviting space, you need to shift the color a little bit more red, get rid of some of that blue green, and shift it a little bit reddish. So, yeah. Oh, seeing the doors open and close. That's cool. Oh, yeah, there it is. I see now. Nice. So you can hide the whole living area kind of stuff if you want to. Right? Because that's where the bathroom and the bedroom and stuff is. And you can turn on. Oh, nice. So that way you can jump straight up to the pilot seat if you want to. But if not, you can keep it all separate. That's pretty cool. That is seriously cool. Yep, I like it. Good job. Man, that's wild. Is that on a... What size core is that? Is that an extra small? Small. Okay. I was gonna say, because it's kind of a short ship, right? It seems very boxy in that respect, but it seems bigger than what I would expect from an extra small, but it just wasn't quite fitting in my brain. Yeah, something new you want to fix? I hear ya. That's why I'm not selling the executive yet. There's still things I want to clean up and fix on that. But at least I got the it's late. My brain is failing. The Silver Bullet and the Intrepid. At least I got those two cleaned up enough where I feel comfortable selling those. But yeah. Wild. Oh, all right. Dude, I'm glad you're happy because you did a phenomenal job. That is a beautiful ship. So many things you have done right. So much like the thought and detail you've put into this thing. Yeah. You can tell. This is a well-loved ship. Absolutely. Man, I'm still seeing things. This leading edge on this wing right here where your antenna goes, like the slant that goes there, that wedge shape, like all the little things. There's so much to take in. And you got little orange highlight, yeah, all the little things. And the door right underneath there, you got lighting plus the orange strip there. Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. That is a really great line, as it turns out. And I bet that was super hard to do, too. Putting the nacelle right there for the engine mount. Wow. Dude, that must have been hard. Looks so good. I love it. I love it. Yep. I don't want to clap too loud and bust your ears in my headphones. But yeah, good job, man. Love the ship. Absolutely amazing all around. You're welcome. Well deserved. You did a lot of hard work on this thing. I can tell. This is not an easy thing to do, you guys. Anybody who's watching, yeah, this is a lot of hard work right here. A lot of dedication, a lot of commitment to building this. That's for sure. Awesome sauce. All right, though. It is late. And I stayed up really late last night, too, for New Year's. Who do we have? Is there anybody? Hey, Zypher's on. Should we go raid Zypher? All right. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you again so much for all your help tonight, Saber. Trying to say the right name. Thank you, Rook, for the Prime. Koibug for the Prime and the raid. Everybody who followed tonight. Thank you also to Drax. Big shout out there to Drax for the big raid tonight, bringing everybody in. I am so glad you're here. I appreciate all of you, every single one of you. Thank you so much for showing up. I can't wait to see you again. Can't get to the vendors? Yeah, that's true. I need to set that up, huh? Well, the raid's going. I'll set that up tomorrow, I think, or maybe I can do something tonight. But I'm beat. I'm shot. So I am going to call it a night. But we're going to go in and raid Zypher. So thank you all. Have a good night. Till next time. See ya.